Alright guys, so today we're back on the 1.8T swap. Down a finger here, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle, but got the engine crane and engine stand in the back of the pickup. So we're going to unload those and start mocking up the engine in the car. Okay, so here's my current situation. Engine crane's in pieces and I got the stand out here. Now I have to assemble this thing. Alright, so I've somehow managed to assemble this engine hoist with one hand and an adjustable wrench. Pretty sure I tightened every bolt, maybe not. We'll see if it breaks on me and then I'll know I haven't tightened something, but I'm gonna try to lift it up now, get on this engine stand. I gotta figure out if I have some hardware laying around that I can use to bolt up the stand to this block. So I'm gonna quickly take a look right now and see if I have enough hardware to get this thing on before I actually lift it up. And then yeah, I'll try to lift it up a bit and we'll get it up on the stand. So I got the engine hoisted up, but after I removed the clutch and the pressure plate, I was hoping there would be some normal bolts here, but looks like they're these like 30 point whatever heads, and all I have is torque socket. So this is probably not going to work. I'm going to try removing it with those. If I can't, then I'm just going to mount the engine stand arms, like push back a bit, which is going to be a little sketchy, but hopefully it doesn't break into any of the bolts. Unreal. I actually managed to somehow remove them all with the factory Loctite on them with a Torx bit. What a lucky day. So now I just gotta wiggle this off. Success. Only have three arms holding it up. The fourth one did not line up to anything, so now is the tricky part. It's literally raining right now, it's dripping. So it's gonna come down any second. I have to undo these straps and then somehow push into the garage in the next like 3 minutes. So yeah, hopefully I don't drop it. Can't believe I got this thing in here, but engine with the stand and these little tiny caster wheels that got stuck on every single rock. So let's get this thing over by the front of the car and then I'm gonna tear some stuff off. I also need to get the engine hoist apart and in here as well so I can drop it in the car, but engine's inside. It's raining pretty good outside. I'm gonna try to run out there one more time and grab the hoist, but yeah, success on that one, and I'll continue once I get the hoist in here and the engine over there. So now that the hardest part is out of the way, engine's inside the garage, I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling things off I don't need. So all this junk, kind of EGR system and coolant hoses everywhere, and then like coolant hoses into the oil filter. I'm not sure what that's for. I'm assuming it's to cool the oil. I don't know. My Mark IV that I had was a 1.9 TDI, so I'm not sure about the 1.8 stuff. I've never actually owned one, so this is all new to me as well. And then like this huge oil filter has to go, just because I am making the mounts once the engine's sat in the car and I don't want any of this in my way. So yeah, I'll probably leave the intake manifold only, and then like the injectors, I'll probably leave them in there, but remove the harness. And then on the hot side, I'm gonna pull all this like stuff on the front off, maybe the turbo. I'm gonna leave the turbo manifold, not because I'm using it, but because I need to strap through the manifold when I'm dropping the engine down. And yeah, everything else can kind of get clear out of the way, and then we'll sit it in the car once that's disassembled and see how it fits. Okay, so hot side is completely stripped minus the manifold, which I'm still using as like a tie down point for the hoist, and the factory engine mount, just because I want to see how close this is to the S13 mounts, which are here and here. If you look on the side, you know, sump is there, and it's just about behind it, so I don't know, it might work. So I'm just gonna leave it as is for now. If it's close, I might be able to work with it. If not, I'll just pull it off. It's whatever. Don't plan on using these, but if it works out, then it works out. The cold side, so the intake side here, I've actually left as is, because the more I look at it, the more confusing it gets. I don't really know what all this is for, and if it's needed or not. So again, if you're a Volkswagen guy, let me know if I can delete everything here and just, you know, run a simple hose or whatever, because I'm not doing any factory like EGR stuff or heater core. You know, there's not gonna be any heat for now. I do have the ports, so I might actually, you know what, I'll probably will run the heat, but everything else can go, so I'm not sure what I need to delete here exactly. If you can let me know, that'd be great, because I would love to pull all this off. But for now, I just want to get the engine in the car and get that situated before I lose more time just staring at the engine here. So I'm gonna set up the crane. We're gonna pull this off the stand, unbolt it, and again, just set it down and see what we're working with before we decide for mounts. I do have a trans option already picked out, but let's see how it fits before we talk about that, because I want to take some measurements first and see if it's gonna work out. Of course, the fluid that I thought was drained already was still in the block. So all that rusty coolant slash water poured out of this banjo. So that's fine. Gonna have to clean that up later, but we got it lined up. Hopefully I can somehow push this over there on top of the plywood and still be able to rotate it into the engine bay. And I didn't show this, but I've got some pieces of wood that are super weak, but if it's stacked like that, should hold up. And they are basically up right above the steering rack mounts. So this is the lowest level the pan could sit. Essentially, I want to put the pan on top of that and then either hold it up with the hoist or put some wood behind it on the firewall, just to see how close we can get. Strap it up now to the chain and we'll try to get it in here and finally see how it fits. Alright, so first kind of quick mock-up is it sits pretty good, especially height-wise, but I need to make some adjustments down there and then push it further back. Once I have it in a kind of a better spot down here, I'll keep recording, but for now it's in, which is good, and it fits pretty good. But let me just make some quick adjustments while my battery's low here, and then I'll record once it's actually in there. Here's the engine in the car. I do have some wood kind of holding it up, and it's strapped down, and there's also like a jack here with another piece of wood, one in the back. So the issue I'm having is I kind of want to go further back. That wood that I put over there is definitely too high. I can go a little further down and back, but I'm hitting this kind of like matrix of hoses here. I know I can definitely take this off and then just run a separate hose and then get rid of all this like mess back here. But there's also like a hose that runs up and over here. I'm not sure if I can just like delete this section or like reroute it somewhere else, or if there's a kit or something. Again, I'm not too familiar with 1.8Ts, unfortunately. I should probably do more research, but factory, it sits at kind of an angle. What I want to do is sort of straighten it out and bring this further down. The mounts and intake manifold are actually at a great location. I was debating doing the front wheel drive manifold because it looks a little nicer, or like a aftermarket aluminum one, but I might just leave this for now. Just got to figure out how to make this throttle body work, obviously, with the ECU. But yeah, the oil filter also in a good spot, and this engine mount bracket I removed, so I can't really show it. But essentially that engine mount bracket pretty much lines up. It's just the angles are different, so I can definitely make a very easy mount for both sides. Doesn't have to do any kinds of crazy angles. It's pretty much a straight shot on both ends, so that'll be cool. Again, this will be further back, so we do have lots of room also for the radiator and fans and whatnot. Plenty of room. Everything's kind of in line with the strut towers here, so all the weight will be pretty good distribution wise. And down here, the trans, can't really get under here to show you, but there's actually plenty of room. It's actually very far down where the bell housing would go, and there's lots of room. For the transmission, I'll try to put some screenshots or something up here, but what I'm going to do is the 6-speed out of the Mazda RX-8. So those hold okay power. It'll probably be at the limit at around 400 horsepower, but won't make that much torque with a bigger size turbo. Again, I'm gonna make it a little bit laggy just to save it. And based on the comments from last video, I think I am just gonna do the head studs and rods like everyone else. Let me know where some good rods. I might just do like a China like max peating rods or whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. I can just get another engine for cheap if it blows up or whatnot. But might as well throw the rods in there since I'm aiming for 350, 400 anyways as a power goal. For the transmission, I'll put screenshots. I ordered an adapter. I believe it's called like RX-8 adapters. Some guy in the UK. It's literally like RX-8 gearbox adapters or something. I'll put a screenshot of exactly what I ordered here. But the transmissions up here in Canada are like 150 to 300 bucks, so it won't be an issue getting transmissions or overpaying for them. And then the measurements are actually pretty much similar. So where the engine sits right now is like in the factory SR20 almost, and the RX-8 gearbox is about the same length. So everything inside of the cabin should line up almost perfectly with the shifter hole, so I don't have to make any major cuts or anything. So now that I know I can run that transmission, I'm gonna go ahead and order the rest of the pieces and then grab a trans or two. And yeah, this should be it for now for today's video, but I am going to start in the next video either bolting up in transmission. I'm going to have to pull the engine back out of the car to mock that all up, and then I just kind of want to slide it in as one unit. But yeah, we'll do the transmission, and I'm going to start making the mounts. Thanks for watching. Again, you guys are super interested in the last video about the swap, so I'm going to keep making more videos. If you have any tips or anything, like I said, I'm not a big 1.8T guy. My Mark IVs were always diesels, TDIs, so any comments I appreciate. Any advice I will take. Like, comment, subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one.